happens if I lose my way with a compass and a map I made, looking for my shadow in the dark? What happens if I look for you with a compass and my tennis shoes and find you holding someone else's heart?
Very bland taste palette, so I use sesame oil and just some sesame seeds on top. I'm not used to watching anything while I eat. I generally eat in silence. I picked up the habit of mindful eating when I was maybe 15. I learned this at school. We learned mindfulness as a concept in general, and mindful eating was one of the topics we touched on. I remember a teacher specifically telling us to go home and think about where our food comes from while we eat it. And, I guess a form of gratitude plays a part in that. And so just appreciating where the food came from. And I think it just rewired my brain to look at food a bit differently since that point. Good morning. I'm currently working from home. Besides the yogurt that I just ate, I'm also eating this granola bar. This morning, I'm just soaking in the sun. I have been listening to the same songs on repeat. So I'm just eating this granola bar, making a playlist. This has been a pretty boring week for me. I have essentially no fun plans throughout the entire week, and I feel like I've just been on this continuous routine, which is very normal. Routine is normal. I wake up and I've been working from home this week, so 8:30 till 4:30. After that, I have to do some more work until 6:30, and then I have to eat dinner, and then I go to the gym. So that is just my life recently. I feel like sometimes having a monotonous routine makes me feel like I'm missing out on all the other opportunities I could be having, but I just feel like Vancouver is not particularly the place for that. It's been slow living, and I've just been learning to appreciate to live a slower life, and the fact that I get to have this routine and I get a lot of time to myself, which is something that I didn't have as much of before. I feel like there is a good thing that comes out of living a very routine life. The fact that I get to be very present when I'm making breakfast, when I'm getting ready without having to rush. So if you feel like your life is very boring, you can totally turn the situation around and really appreciate the life that you're living. I feel like it's always fun to add in a few spontaneous activities now and then. Yeah, as a whole, I really hope that this video inspires you to appreciate the kind of beauty of slow living. Let's do a little taste test. I tried to replicate Chinese tomato egg noodles. I know. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I can eat an entire meal standing. I don't put enough time into my skincare sometimes because I know that my skin isn't very problematic. Generally, all I do is moisturize. Hope you don't mind my face looking like this, but it had to be done. I don't usually do this. I don't usually make tea at night, but I just made some peppermint tea. Actually stole my sister's tea bags. Sorry, Sanya, but they weren't open anyways. There's just not been a lot going on this week. Sometimes I'm not very used to that. I was previously very much in the mindset of things needing to be very fast-paced and moving quickly, and I had to be doing something. I had to be feeling productive. Recently I've learned to live more intentionally, you know, put my time into things that I really appreciate. I think there definitely should be a balance with like a social life, but I think for this week I'm just chilling out. I'm enjoying every day, no complaints. It definitely took a bit of a mindset shift to get here. Not having to think about what the next move is and just being calm. That is a privilege, and I'm really grateful that I'm in this period of time because life can be pretty hectic sometimes. And so I'm just taking this week as it is and just treasuring the time that I get to myself. So another day of nothing interesting going on, but finally have the afternoon to myself today. And I think I'm gonna go to a cafe. It's a nice and sunny day outside, and the rest of the week is completely rainy. I have the sun and the outdoors to look forward to today, which is great. This Monday was actually Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't typically celebrate Thanksgiving, so we didn't do very much, my sister and I, on Monday, but just waking up today and seeing the sun and the outdoors and just all the nature and trees around me really reminded me to be grateful for where I'm at right now. I think gratitude is such an underrated skill to have. That gratitude can really increase your mood and increase your happiness and your perspective on life. We tend to look at the negative of things and we find the problem really easily. And our brain automatically goes to the worst case scenario in a lot of times. But I started doing this thing in 2020 or before that. 2020 was 4 years ago now, which is insane to say. Writing 3 things you're grateful for every day helps you practice gratitude. So by writing it down, that's the best way to do it, especially if you're going through a hard time. Taking the end of your day and sitting down and reflecting on the day you had and thinking about 3 things you're grateful for from that day can actually be really challenging because we often overlook the simple things that we should be grateful for. I've spoken to many people about asking people what they're grateful for. People have a really hard time coming up with what they're grateful for. And it's only 3 things you have to think of. It can be anything as simple as I'm grateful for my friends, my family, the ability to exercise, the time to have to myself, the accessibility to the outdoors, good food and water, you know, just these really simple things we often overlook and think that it's expected and guaranteed, and not everyone gets these things. and it makes you feel a bit more fortunate to be in the position that you're in and more grateful about the experiences that you've had. And I feel like this is a skill that's definitely helped me over the years and continues to, because especially when things are hard and things are changing, life feels like it's getting you down. These little things can really help your overall mood and your perspective on life, and will make you less hateful of life, I feel. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the idea of gratitude and that simple practice that I really think has helped me over the years. So if you're watching this, I hope you can also start to adopt that habit. Before bed, reflect on your day and think of 3 things you're grateful for from that specific day. Try to keep this up for maybe a week, and then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Try go for a month and just see how that makes you feel overall, and whether it changes your outlook on life. It's also a very key practice of mindfulness, just being aware of your daily life and the little things that you should be able to feel grateful for. Add back into the whole idea of how I'm learning to enjoy slow living. By practicing gratitude, you're focusing on the things that you have instead of dwelling on the things that you don't have and what you wish to achieve and what you wish to obtain. It's great to have goals, but it's also good to ground yourself and bring yourself back to where you are in the exact moment. Just feel grateful for it. I am so hungry right now, so we're gonna go head to a cafe and get some personal work done and get something to eat.
Tongue tied, I don't wanna go home. You and I under linen. Won't die, but I'm really not bored. So used to chasing falling stars. Love's not supposed to be paper thin. So if I stay here, don't rip me apart. I'm already scared to begin with. I can't keep my heart in one piece. I can't keep my heart in one piece. Maybe you can show me. Baby, you're the MVP. Look so fine in a white one piece. Dreaming you when I fall asleep. Dreaming you when I RIP. So used to chasing fall.